InZOI quickly became a sensation in the life simulation genre, soaring to the top of Steam's most wish-listed games and receiving an outpouring of positive reviews during its early access phase. Developed by Korean studio Krafton, the game garnered massive popularity with its breathtaking beauty, hyper-realistic graphics, and meticulous attention to detail. But despite its success, not everyone was on board. What was the problem? Today we'll dive into the mystery. Hey! Welcome to my channel, everyone. I'm the globalcherry, and if you're a returning subscriber or visitor, welcome. As someone who enjoys the occasional comfort game, I spent a fair amount of time playing The Sims on mobile long ago. Those were the nostalgic times when I'd shape my Sim's life, turn her into a millionaire, try to drown her in the pool, and inevitably forget to feed her, losing her in the process. So, when I heard about another life simulator similar to The Sims, curiosity got the best of me. In InZOI, you step into the shoes of an intern at AR company, tasked with managing the lives of virtual beings known as ZOI and crafting their unique stories. While the game's early stages were admittedly lacking in content, Krafton seems aware of its shortcomings and is eager for player feedback. Naturally, comparisons to The Sims have been drawn, with players questioning whether InZOI will offer the same depth or if it will feel lifeless. But let's be real, when was The Sims ever truly deep? Some even argue that InZOI might be too realistic. Honestly, this would have been my 12-year-old dream come true. From InZOI's trailers and gameplay shared by content creators, I was impressed by how well optimized the game looks, especially the stunning character customization, facial animations, and motion capture. And this is coming from someone who once spent 20 minutes perfecting her Sims 4 character. Need a hat. Don't I look beautiful with my Pennywise haircut? The developers also appear to have used 3D scans of real-world cities and objects to build immersive, customizable environments. You can even take public transportation or drive around the world. Instead of framing InZOI as a Sims killer, I see it more like the flip side of the same coin. But as any gamer knows, good visuals and set dressing only go so far. On one hand, the devs have laid out an ambitious roadmap with planned features like deeper relationship systems, adoption mechanics, and even a mod kit on the horizon, clearly aiming to recreate the joy and chaos that drew people to games like The Sims. On the other hand, InZOI's early access build came with its share of bugs and glitches, though the team has been quick to release hotfixes, particularly to clean up UI issues. The game's lighting feels off, relationships progress too quickly, and ZOIs age at an alarmingly fast rate and would sometimes ruin relationships on their own. On top of that, remarrying multiple times apparently causes family members to disappear for good. The game definitely needs more challenges to make the ZOIs feel like they're actually living in a life sim. According to an article from Gamerant, Krafton recently released a hotfix that addressed several issues, including the aging speed of the ZOIs. The update tweaks the lifespan rule so that only ZOIs in the senior age category can pass away from natural causes. However, this change only applies to ZOIs created after the hotfix went live. While I initially thought most of the criticism was limited to bugs, articles from PC Gamer have proven me wrong. They first released an article about a bug in-game that allows players to run over children, which was quickly patched by the developers. But more recently, another article sparked concern over the lack of representation for gay relationships and the inability to adopt children in same-sex relationships within InZOI. I remember something similar happening with Lads, where players were frustrated because they couldn't play as a male character. Not Malcolm's video dives deeper into this matter, explaining that many of the pre-made ZOIs NPCs in the game are programmed to be straight. That said, you can still create your own characters, choose their gender and set their sexual preferences to make them gay, bi, or straight. Although creators originally stated that same-sex marriage wouldn't be possible in InZOI, an official moderator later clarified that it is possible, but that it was a bug. I'm inclined to think that this feature wasn't fully implemented yet, which they could have been more transparent about. As a company aiming to sell their game globally, InZOI will likely adjust after feedback, but I don't think the development team intentionally left out this feature. It's not because InZOI is a Korean game. Gay people aren't myths in Korea, Sharon. Still, I understand why some players might feel disappointed, as life sims should give players the freedom to create the kind of experience they want, including the ability to self-insert into their ZOIs. What matters is that the team appears open to listening to the community and making changes to improve the game, whether that's adding more inclusivity or just making you feel more fruity with your homie.
I'm in love with you, Brandon.
Aside from this, PC Gamer also recently published another article raising concerns that players can now kidnap other ZOI's children. As someone who knows exactly which buttons I'm pressing in a game, I have to ask, why are you trying to kidnap children in the first place? Another point of contention for players was that you can't get pregnant in InZOI without a marriage license. I recall someone commenting that your ZOI needs a wedding ring to unlock uterus features. Sims Freeplay has a similar setup, where your sim has to go through a marriage quest before unlocking the children quest. So this didn't come as a huge surprise to me, but I know many players aren't exactly thrilled about that restriction. In addition to this, InZOI faced backlash for not initially disclosing its use of Denuvo, an anti-piracy tool known for causing performance drops, limiting script mods, and raising privacy concerns. Fortunately, Krafton eventually removed it, a win for both modders and regular players. But perhaps the most prominent problem people found revolves around InZOI's relationship with generative AI. Krafton's pride in using AI is clear from their marketing. Considering AI was the future, this was not a shock. That said, it's crucial to address the moral and ethical concerns, especially when AI could be trained on unlicensed work from artists or writers. That's a serious issue that should not be overlooked, but rather than dismissing AI entirely, wouldn't it be better to learn to coexist with it? As long as there is stronger regulation and transparency in how AI models were ethically trained, especially when it's intended to be player-driven. As stated in the team's tweet, their AI uses proprietary models developed in-house and is trained on copyright-free assets and data. This allows players to generate content like clothing patterns and in-game textures. Wouldn't live sim players enjoy designing their clothing? Their generative images come from the public domain, and with the consent of artists representing Krafton, it's more about providing players a creative tool rather than undermining the value of original artwork. It's crucial to remember that AI doesn't have to be exploitative or replace artists. If used in a responsible and efficient way, adding value to the game and player experience, why not embrace it? Consider how painters reacted when photography emerged. It was initially seen as a threat, as if photography would replace painting, but over time, photography evolved into its own respected art form. AI, like photography, doesn't have to replace artists. It can be a tool that opens new creative avenues when used responsibly. Even The Sims uses AI and are thinking of implementing Gen AI. Wouldn't you want your ZOIs to be smarter and for you to have more creative freedom in the game? As for voice acting, InZOI, with a market capitalization of 15 trillion Korean won, can afford a talented team of voice actors. While AI can't easily replace the emotion and personality that voice actors bring, if it were used for voice work, it should be done carefully, ensuring proper consent from VAs or when a large voice cast is not feasible. Although I do recall from their livestream that they have used real voice actors. But what matters most is that if AI use is involved, it should enhance the experience of a game without detracting from it. If the AI makes the game feel soulless or empty, that's a real issue, one that gamers actually care about. The company is protected under terms of service regarding AI usage, but at the end of the day, it's up to you, the players, to decide how you engage with the game. InZOI appears to be targeting Sims fans and life simulator fans, and after refining their game, I think they can capture this market with their current business strategy. There's potential here, but the game is still in early stages. Graphically, they have the advantage, but they could improve by adding more interactions that make life simulations fun and making the ZOIs feel more natural. More activities in town could help too. There's a lot of room for expansion. The hate around InZOI feels forced in my opinion, but it's good to see the game's doing well in early access. I just hope they don't get creatively constrained, especially with the game's 12+ rating. Although, I do wonder if my PC will survive the specs required to run it. I'm not here to tell you not to enjoy something, but I do think players might have a better experience if they wait until the full release with richer content. Plus at $40 it feels a bit steep for early access. What are your thoughts on InZOI? That is all for today. If you enjoyed the video, please make sure to leave a like, subscribe for more content like this, and comment your thoughts below. Thank you for watching, and that's all.